What's poppin'? It's your girl, Black Diamond Misfit. I just wanted to go back to when I said when I was 13. I when I was in a group home, I said my biological mom let me bring a guy friend over. That wrong time. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. A lot of stuff going on in my head that I have to try and remember. After I told you after my daughter's passing. When I was 13 is when I moved in with a friend from school. When I did get to go to school, when I was home, and I moved in with her. Her mom let me stay. It wasn't for too long, but we did build a relationship to where when as I got older, I uh, she wound up moving with me. Sorry, I had a brain fart. And as I got older and I had kids and everything, when I was 15, 16 is when I met this guy. He was very well known in town, very well known. Like, he fighting and whatever. But he never did anything to me. So in the name of Jesus. So now now I'm 18. I'm gonna bypass all that. Okay, and 18, and I after that happened, I went to I had to go. I went to Job Corps. From Job Corps, now I'm 18 and going 19, 18, just turning 18 and everything. Still in that genre of when the person nearly killed me to death when I told you that when I was 18 because everything happened so fast. Um, So after my biological mother picked me up from after the person when I was 18 years old tried to kill me. Like I said, that she did pick me up, which I was very grateful. I wound up going to Job Corps. Okay, and Job Corps just wasn't for me. I mean, it was very nice and everything, but it wasn't for me. So I went back to to the town where I lived in, and I went back to the person who I said that I met when I was 15, 16 years old. So I went back to his house, which me and his sisters were friends, and so one day, a friend of mine wind up finding out where I was at. And she didn't like what she was hearing about the person who I was with, which she didn't do anything to me, but she goes Captain Save a person. So she came and well, she didn't come. She sent somebody to come in to get me from the house where I was at with this person. Well, the person came, which I knew, well, sort of knew whatever, and said, "Well, I need to for you to um, show me where this person, one of your friend's sister, lives." I was like, "Oh, okay." So I go. I'm in the car. Mind you, I'm 18. I'm eating like 95 pounds. No, just slip-on shoes and just I think it was shorts or something like that, whatever. So I point and I'm like, okay, well, I get in the car. And I'm like, okay, we're driving for a minute, and I said, well, she lives over there. He passed by that house. He said, well, your friend, I don't want to say any names, sent me to get you so that way you can get away from this person. And I was like, what? So I tried to get out the car. There's two people, no, oh, two people in the front, one person in the back, and the other person was holding me like this. So I couldn't get out the car. I said, well, this person, is going to get you for, taking me. You know what I mean? Like, you don't even know what you just did. So now he brings me to the house where my friend was, and she goes, "Well, yeah, I did that. I didn't want you with him because I heard he's been doing this and this and that." I said, "Well, he didn't do that to me." She said, "Yeah, but you would have been next." So I said, "Okay." I didn't want to argue, fight. I didn't. Now, mind you, I didn't have any clothes, shoes, and everything. My stuff was at his and his sister's house. So that same day, We go to a little house party, and the person house party is somebody who I used to, talk to, or who I used to like and everything. So I was like, what in the world? So um come to find, okay, so we're having a fine time at the party. I go back to the house and everything, but it was, I'm gonna try and say that it was supposed to be a hookup. She wanted me, even though she did have my best interest, but it wanted to be a hookup. She wanted me to be hooked up with her boyfriend's brother, which, I my mind. Listen, I was still really basically like a tomboy. I really more like I really wasn't interested like stuff like that. I really wasn't, even though, I had little relate. Well, I had a deep relationship with the person who I was with. They didn't really kill me, and I really wasn't even all interested like that because I was just just really wasn't. And the person who she took me from, I was okay with. So I wasn't trying to be hooked up with anybody, So, it took a long, so I'm gonna bypass, try to go fast forward on this and everything. So, months down the line and everything, months down the line, I took an interest. Okay, maybe this person, what I mean. Like I see some nice flaws, nice things or whatever like that, maybe. But my mind and heart really wasn't in it. But I was like, what, maybe, maybe. So one time we whatever and everything, and honestly, I can only maybe think maybe twice, maybe if that. I really honestly I can't even remember that because it just was not it for me. But I remember it was Valentine's Day, and there was three couples. Well, two couples, because really I wasn't really a couple with this person, but it really was not like that with me on my part. But there was two couples and me and this person, and it was Valentine's Day, and they gave us, well, they gave them money, whatever, whatever, us money, whatever, to go out, whatever, whatever. We came back, and lo and behold, there was women popping out the house, running out. Got them with the other two couples with the males with pants down their legs and everything, running and everything. Like, what the hell is going on here? So I took that as my opportunity to say, oh, okay, so this is what it is. Okay, so I went to the person who that was my childhood sweetheart, as I should say, because that's, I used to talk to him before they even brought me up there to go be with their brother. So I went to that person's house, and it was Valentine's Day, and yeah, yes, we did. And I went back to the house and everything, as normal and everything. Nobody's doesn't care about nothing. I'm like, okay, so this is what it is. Okay, so I didn't care. So months went down the line, because now mind you, the other person I was with, we weren't having relations. It was not that person. I just basically slept on the bed couch. That was it. So months went down the line, and I feel sick or my stomach hurts. So I go up the street to the hospital, and they say, okay, and I take blood tests and everything like that, and I go home, but I forget all about that, that I went to the hospital. Now mind you, now my stomach is really, really hurting. I was like, you know what? I never did get the results why my stomach would be hurting from the hospital. So I called and I said, yeah, this is Sandra Langlois. I need to know my results. What was wrong? Because my stomach's still hurting. They were like, well, ma'am, you're pregnant. I was like, okay. So I'm like, all right, I'm pregnant. All right. So me, in my mind, I'm forgetting all about Valentine's Day, because now months have then passed. It was one time, and I'm thinking, okay, so it's the person I was with maybe the one or two times I was with. Because mind you, I'm 18. I didn't know nothing about periods, monitoring, monitoring periods that you have to monitor it and stuff. I didn't know anything like that. You see how my life was, because I was not raised by people or any by parents. I was raised by DCF or whatever like that, and no one didn't teach me anything like that. Even though you say, "Oh, 18, you should know." No, I didn't know. I just, and this is God's truth. So so I'm thinking it's the person, and I'm like, oh, okay, oh God, all right, all right. So that's where it's gonna be. So now, mind you, I go to a prenatal checkup, and they say that I'm 5 months. I'm like, 5 months? I didn't have a period. I didn't know. I'm like, okay. So the next day, and I didn't have no stomach. So the next day I woke up, I had a stomach. Now I'm 6 months and I had a stomach. I was like, what the hell is this? I was like, oh my God. So now I'm 6 months, I'm pregnant. Stomach came out of out of nowhere. And I'm like, okay. So now I'm gonna fast forward all this. Now I have the baby. I have a son. And he does this face, and I'm like, why the heck does he look like him? Like, no. He made the face again. I said, oh. So I said to my friend, I was like, whose baby do you think this? I said, look at him. Who does he look like? She said, oh. So I go to the person. Now, mind you, the person who I thought it was, he's in jail. Okay, he went to jail. And I said to my friend, whose baby does it look like? She said, oh my God. So we go to the person's house to to the future baby father's house, and we talked to the mom, and she says, who does baby look like? She goes, I know whose baby's supposed to be. So we showed the father, and he was like, oh my God, but the person who that we thought it was, he was like, oh no, you're just playing games, don't be doing that, that's my child, don't be doing that, you're just doing that because whatever. I was like, you know what, no, because this baby does. He was like, don't do that. So I left it alone. But now, mind you, years later, he did come to my house. He was like, I just want to know, is that my son? I was like, look, just leave it alone, because the person, whatever, he says it is, I just don't want it, whatever. But 13 years later, when they asked for child support, you gotta do a blood test. Well, they did a blood test, and it came out, no, it wasn't his. They did a blood test, and it was the person who I said. He was conceived on Valentine's Day. I didn't have to go and figure out who it was, because I wasn't out there like that. But that's the truth of the Black Diamond Misfit.